but he was heavily involved in both goals, winning the penalty and causing the deflection off Ben Godfrey. What was so impressive about him today for you, Scott? I don't know how much of him you saw in Bayer Leverkusen, but he really was a star in the Bundesliga. Are we seeing shades of that now finally come about at Chelsea?
Yeah, I said it's his best game in a Chelsea shirt. I've got to be honest with you, Adam. It didn't take much to have a best game so far in a Chelsea shirt. Now, I don't think I'm his harshest critic, but I do think, considering how good he was in Germany, I don't want to talk about price tags because that's nothing to do with the player, but knowing what he's capable of, he's had injuries. I think he's had COVID as well. You know, we don't know how that affects the body, how that therefore affects the mind. I want to be seeing him affecting games. That's what I want to see. I thought today went a long way towards doing that. I still feel that a Mason Mount probably would have had a better game with the form that he's in at the moment. But this would have given Havertz massive amounts of confidence to say, look, I am good enough in the Premier League. We know talent-wise he's good enough, but we've seen lots of good players come to the Premier League and not been able to adjust to it. I mean, if you want to be not critical, but just sort of think, oh, you know, maybe he could have had even more luck. That could have gone straight in. He could have gone round Jordan Pickford and put it in. We could be talking about a 2-0 win and he's got both the goals. But still, he's played a major part in both of those goals. And these clips we're seeing here, I mean, I said about earlier on, the Ruud Gullit said, look, I just wanted to do two things in a game. He certainly did that. But for someone like him and a midfielder as well, you know, you want them to be affecting the game in different ways. And this is what I want to be seeing do. Just getting on the ball, doing something different, looking forwards if he can. I still feel there's at times he's lacking confidence because he's playing back rather than going forward, or instead of trying to take the player on, he's playing a simple pass. But that will come. This game here will give him lots of confidence. That's the type of run we want to be seeing him doing. And a bit of skill in the end, well, you know, Jordan Pickford knew straight away it was a penalty. Shame he couldn't go around him and stick it in the back of the net himself, but that is as good as a goal. And Thomas Tuchel will be absolutely delighted, one, with Havertz, and two, give himself a little pat on the back to say, I'm sure there would have been a slight bit of pressure with, or eyebrows raised looking at that, but that's certainly justified the decision of him playing.
Well, that's the other issue, because you have to strongly believe, although we can't be 100% certain, Kev, but a remit of Thomas Tuchel taking charge of Chelsea would be getting the best out of their big summer signings. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, every article, every conversation was saying, oh, he's from Germany, he can speak the language as well, so that might be an advantage. And we saw it today, at least with Havertz.
Well, I think Havertz and Werner have, you know what they've done, even if things haven't gone their way, they've still worked tremendously hard. They've put a shift in, which is what a lot of the players will respect out of them. But the key points are Werner needs to score, and he's just not putting the ball away at the moment. And Havertz needed to affect the game, and he really affected the game today. I thought he played really well, and probably didn't want to come off at the end because he's probably thinking, you know, I could get on the score sheet. But I just think the way Chelsea are set up now, if these two players come to the fore, they're going to be very, very dangerous for any team, because the way they're set up and that defensive unit look to be very strong.
But again, you're right about Thomas Tuchel. I'm not saying he's brought in purely for these two players, but these two players were spent, a lot of money was spent. I've heard that the owner, Roman Abramovich, really liked Kai Havertz. You're asking me if I saw him play in Germany. He saw him play in Germany. He wanted to put the checkbook and spend the amount of money that he did. And he wants to see his star player, or one of his star players, actually playing in the side and playing well. So I have no doubt whatsoever that he would have said to Thomas Tuchel, or the message would have been to him, get him playing to how we know he can play. And look, that was a large step towards doing just that. But he needs to do this on a consistent basis.